Well guys, we are officially in 2025, and this is going to be my first video of the new year, so I just want to wish all of you a happy new year. Hope you guys all had a good celebration, and thank you so much for all of your support on the channel throughout 2024. We were able to reach almost 10,000 new subscribers, which is amazing, and I really feel like this year, 2025, is probably going to be one of the best years potentially for this channel, as we've got a brand new next generation Nintendo system, which is just around the corner, and I really feel like with all the attention and hype that's going to be around the Switch 2, I'm really hoping to have it really kind of go for this channel and really take it to the next level and have it grow into something incredible. And I really do appreciate all of you guys who are going to be around for that, and all of the new people who are going to be joining in as well. Now, I did have a different video planned to be my first video for 2025, as I was thinking about some of the things that I could do to start off the year, talking about Switch 2 and other things as well, but of course something just had to happen literally within the first day of the new year, as we just entered 2025, and someone decided, you know what, let's leak the motherboard of the entire next generation Nintendo system, and so now everybody is flipping out over this and going kind of insane, so of course we have to talk about this, so I am going to be showing it to you guys and giving you guys my thoughts. Alright, so here are the images. We can see they were posted here by Wario64 saying rumor Nintendo Switch 2 motherboard pics. And the thing here is that these images are not blurry. We actually have a very clear image here of what a motherboard for the Switch 2 is probably going to look like. And so this is already kind of insane because we can see right here very detailed images, and we've got multiple images here too. This one literally has a picture of the Nvidia CPU that is on here. We can even see that it's numbered and stuff. And then also we've got another pic here too of the end of the board. And so when these images started coming out, of course the internet went crazy. And the thing about this is, like, even though we don't have 100% definitive proof if these images are real or if they're fake, because it is still a rumor at this point, I do think that if you guys want my honest thoughts on this, I'm thinking this is most likely the real deal, as if you don't know, faking a motherboard is much more difficult than just faking like having a system or a dock or something. Anybody can fake a 3D printed version of like a dock or having the system or having like anything like that, but to fake an entire motherboard, you have to get literally all of these like little transistors and circuit boards and every single little thing completely correct, and it would be costing you like thousands of dollars to make a fake version of a motherboard. So I'm thinking because of all of this and how it's all labeled and stuff, and people have even been able to track some of these things, this is probably the real deal, and we're really looking at what's going to be inside of the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, some of you might remember that back in September of last year, there was actually a Nintendo Switch 2 prototype leak that came out, where we got to see some of these images of like a very early version of the Switch 2 starting to be assembled, and in these images we got to see like these shells for the new Joy-Cons, we got to see a very basic version of the tablet, and this image did also have a motherboard inside of it, alongside all of those CAD document images that came out too, that were showing kind of the design for the system. And when this image had come out, people were able to look at it and realize that this was basically the system, but just upside down, as we can kind of see here where all the things would go. As if we take a look right here, we've got a slot right here for the CPU and GPU with the Nvidia SoC. We've got two modules for RAM slots that are right next to it. We've got the speakers here at the bottom, an SD card reader to upgrade your memory, a entire battery slot right here for playing the system in portable mode, and then at the top here we've got a big slot here for the game cartridge where you put that in from the top. You've got a headphone jack right here to put in your headphones and microphones. There's another USB-C slot on the top, as well as the bottom one right here for the dock. And then there's also going to be a DisplayPort ribbon connector right here to basically be able to put that game onto a dock and then onto your TV. So we can see right here that all of this stuff was already kind of there when that image came out back in September. And if we compare that now to the new images that came out today, we can see here they basically line up perfectly. Like we can see right here, the images are completely the same, where we can see right here at the top now, we've actually got kind of like this metal bracket here that shows you where the game cartridge would go inside of. We've got the same exact thing right here, where if we compare it, where we can see right here, this is where the Nvidia SoC would go, where you can have the CPU and GPU. Then we've got the two RAM modules that are right next to it, just like the image on the top right here. And so yeah, everything seems to be lining up, and that's why to me, this image is most likely just going to be real. I don't think that you can fake this, and if you do, you'd have to spend a lot of money to kind of fake an entire motherboard like this and spend so much money to try to make something as intricate as this and have it all be fake. And the fact that it's all labeled and everything too, yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is actually going to be the real motherboard of the Switch 2. Now from all of the images, this one right here actually shows us the Nvidia SoC that is already installed inside of a Switch 2 motherboard, as well as the RAM here too. And so once these numbers started getting out there, people were actually able to run through a lot of databases and stuff with kind of the RAM, and were able to figure out that going off of this image, it does in fact look like that there are 12 gigabytes of RAM inside of this motherboard for the Switch 2, and that is pretty much lining up exactly with what we heard from the rumors, like I think back in like May of last year, that were saying that the Switch 2 is going to have 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM, and that information was actually coming out from shipping data going back and forth between Nintendo, so it was already pretty likely back then, and it's even more likely now that we see it right here. So yeah, it's pretty much all but confirmed that the Switch 2 is in fact going to have 12 gigabytes of RAM, and it seems like this is matching pretty much with the Nvidia SoC leak that came out too, that it's going to be using the Nvidia T239 chip, and that seems to be matching completely here as well. And so all of this information sounds amazing, but for some reason there's actually people that are doom posting about this, where we've got Central here saying, well, it's over. Based on the leak SoC picture, this appears to be manufactured by Samsung, meaning the 8nm node is likely, and that's 2018 technology. A lot of people expected 4nm. This is just speculation based on the leaked photos, but if this ends up being true, this would be terrible for the Switch 2. We're talking bad performance and bad battery life. Hoping Nintendo has a trick up their sleeve for this, as it would be a major blow to the console if true. And really, this entire tweet here is just completely unnecessary, and it's just so pessimistic for no reason, because it's just speculation going off of the images, and the images are pretty much telling us exactly what we expected to hear going off of all the rumors that we've heard about in 2024. Like, if anything, it should be impressive that it seems like we're actually going to be getting what the rumors have stated, that it's going to be 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM, that it's going to be using the Nvidia T239 chip for the system-on-a-chip SoC, with the CPU and GPU, and everything else is lining up. And it seems like this information isn't even completely accurate, as they were saying that it looks like it's going to be manufactured by Samsung, meaning the 8nm node is likely. But people have actually analyzed it here over on the Nintendo Switch 2 Reddit, where they've actually gotten the information from Famiboards, and those people analyzing it are saying here, we're back, the Switch 2 node is not Samsung 8nm, it's actually going to be 5nm. And so these are the people who are analyzing kind of all the different transistors and looking at kind of the CPU and analyzing everything, and from there they're pretty much kind of certain that it's not going to be 8nm, but rather it's going to be a 5nm chip, going off of the first engineering samples that had come out in April of 2022. And so I think that it's probably going to be 5nm, but even if that's not the case and it does end up being 8nm, it's definitely not going to be like this doom post right here saying that it's going to be bad performance and bad battery life. Now, I made a tweet about all of this as well, where I said here, don't know why people are doom posting like this from the Switch 2 motherboard leak. It looks to have 12 gigabytes of RAM, 4K DLSS upscaling, and potentially a 5nm SoC, but even 8nm wouldn't be bad. All this will still make it a drastic leap from the current Switch, and that's really all we need. And it's completely true, because I don't know if these people are like comparing it to a PS5 and then realizing like it's going to be significantly low in performance compared to that, because obviously that's going to be the case. I don't think anybody was expecting the Switch 2 to be like on par with the PS5 or an Xbox Series X or anything like that, and if you were, then you have no idea what you were expecting, because that's not possible to have inside of a small little tablet-like system like what the Switch 2 is going to be. And just comparing it to the current Switch that we all have in our homes right now, this is going to be a monumental, drastic leap coming from the current Nintendo Switch, which is using a 2015 SoC with the Nvidia Tegra X1. Like, this is going to be a huge leap in terms of games, in terms of all the stuff that's going to be possible on this next system, regardless of what happens. And I think that's pretty much what everybody wants. It's like all of Nintendo's games are going to get that huge drastic leap going into this next generation, and this all just sounds amazing. I'm honestly very happy that it actually looks like there's going to be 12 gigabytes of RAM. I was really hoping to kind of get like slapped at the very last second and Nintendo actually just put only 8 gigabytes or something like that. So all of this is just sounding amazing, so I really have no idea why people are actually getting upset by this. I mean, if we scroll down here, Somebody even asked me about like the Switch 1 motherboard, and I put a picture right here. This is the motherboard that we have in all of our Switches right now. Like, you can see how small this is, and this is what's been running pretty much every single Switch game that we've had throughout this entire generation. That is what we've had, and if you're telling me now that this is going to be what's going to be on the next generation system, you can see how much bigger and how much of an upgrade this looks to be. So there's really no reason to be upset about this at all. All of this is actually sounding amazing, and if anything, this really seems like the Switch 2 is going to be an amazing system, and I really can't wait for this new generation. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely gonna have some more videos talking about the Switch 2, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below, let me know what you think about this. How do you feel about these motherboard leaks? Are you happy with what the system is sounding to be like, or are you a little bit worried and disappointed by this? How do you feel about it all? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.